There's just a lot to be proud of, and it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment.
That is Iowa native and Indiana Fever star, and now Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark, looking back at a whirlwind.
What happens when a rookie outshines the veterans before even stepping on a WNBA court? Caitlin Clark's doing it, and not everyone's happy. From Forbes to Time magazine, she's sweeping awards left and right. Here's where it gets spicy. Some big names are weighing in on AA. Wilson suggests races at play, while Mystics owner Sheila Johnson argues that the spotlight should shine on all the NBA players, not just Clark.
Only bees out there I see are the bees that are being dramatic about Caitlin Clark. That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they got to be drama because they're jealous.
Is this the dawn of a new era for women's basketball or a sign of a league at odds? Caitlin Clark isn't just collecting trophies, she's sweeping entire award shows. Being named Time magazine's Athlete of the Year and making Forbes 30 Under 30 is impressive for a rookie. But Clark didn't stop there. She dominated the Forbes 100 most influential women list.
Hey girl, you look great.
Thanks. You look pretty good.
Thank you so much. It's been interesting because since your article dropped, I gotta say, it has got all the buzz. If you are on X, if you're on Instagram, TikTok for the young kids, you know that Caitlin Clark is the Time Athlete of the Year. How has your 24 hours been since the articles dropped?
It's been awesome, and just the reaction. Obviously, people so excited not only about women's basketball but about women's sports, and how excited and deserving not only myself but just women's sports as a whole.
Now you might be thinking, okay, but how many awards are we talking about here? Brace yourself. Caitlin Clark shattered 62 WNBA records in her first season. That's not just breaking records, it's obliterating them. And just when you think she's done, boom. A nomination for BBC Sportsperson of the Year. A rookie being nominated for an award usually reserved for seasoned pros. Can you believe it?
A little bit of turnover, but I first want to start with Time magazine, Ari, and I think this is maybe the least surprising announcement.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Caitlin Clark isn't just winning awards, she's redefining what's possible for a rookie athlete. One expert put it this way: good luck naming another athlete who altered the trajectory of their entire team sport within just 5 months on the job. That's not just praise, it's acknowledging a true game changer.
Really, Time magazine recognizes the monster impact Clark had on basketball, saying good luck naming another athlete who altered the trajectory of their entire team sport within 5 months on the job.
Let's break down why these awards matter so much. Caitlin Clark's inclusion on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list is significant for attracting sponsorships and investment in women's sports. She's the first female basketball player ever to make it. And it's not just about her performance on the court. These awards consider an athlete's influence and ability to inspire change within their sport. Clark is doing that in spades.
And there's only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her.
Like her, think about it. She's not just breaking records on the court, she's reshaping perceptions of women's basketball. More fans are tuning in, media attention is at an all-time high, and attendance records are being shattered. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game, she's fundamentally changing the entire landscape of women's sports.
But like on the court, what she did, and I don't know if you saw, Indiana Fever yesterday posted this clip of Caitlin, and the caption was just her accolades, and it took 5 minutes to read, and I'm like, girl, do you want to chill at all? She doesn't know.
Zero. And listen, I think this is probably the easiest decision.
But all this success is making some people very, very nervous. While Caitlin Clark is busy collecting accolades and changing the game, not everyone is cheering. Some big names in women's basketball are starting to feel the pressure.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the...
And that's where things get really interesting. We're about to see how Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise is shaking up the entire WNBA. Are we witnessing the dawn of a new era in women's basketball, or is this success creating rifts in the league? Stick around, because this story is just getting started. Remember when people said women's basketball was boring? Well, Caitlin Clark just made them eat their words. She's not just playing the game, she's rewriting the entire playbook. And let me tell you, it's a sight to behold.
I mean, we've never ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience, and be able to absolutely attribute real numbers and statistics to their popularity, right? Like 15 million people watching, and certainly watching the national championship.
Clark's style on the court is not just impressive, it's revolutionary. We're talking no-look passes that would make Magic Johnson do a double take. She's got moves that leave defenders spinning and fans jumping out of their seats every time she touches the ball. You can feel the energy in the arena shift. People aren't just watching a game anymore. They're witnessing a spectacle.
We talk about ceilings a lot, but she created a new floor. So now we're going to look back. Even if it doesn't hit the numbers that it hit this season, the expectation is much higher. The interest is generally much higher. The investment is much higher.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Caitlin Clark isn't just scoring points. She's creating highlight reels that are breaking the internet. Her plays are going viral faster than cat videos, which means more eyes on women's basketball than ever before.
That Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. She's the cash cow. And wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft, the doubleheader to open the NBA season. Ratings.
Now you might be wondering, sure, she's fun to watch, but is she actually changing the game? Let's look at the numbers because they tell a story that's hard to ignore. WNBA attendance skyrocketing, TV ratings through the roof, packed arenas, and record-breaking viewership.
For the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did.
But hold on to your hats because this next stat is going to blow your mind. Caitlin Clark is responsible for a staggering 26.5% of WNBA revenue. Let that sink in for a second. One player, over a quarter of the league's money. That's not just impressive, it's game-changing. The numbers are so staggering they don't even seem real. But Caitlin Clark alone had a $36 million economic impact.
The numbers are so staggering they don't even seem real, but Caitlin Clark alone had a $36 million economic impact, Indy. $36 million.
It's not just about the money. Caitlin Clark is changing how people see women's sports. In her own words, she's been able to captivate so many people who have never watched women's sports, let alone women's basketball, and turn them into fans. That's huge. We're talking about a whole new generation of fans who are falling in love with the sport because of her.
This year, the talent was so undeniable that it has brought new sports fans to the league, and now they're basketball enthusiasts, they're women's basketball enthusiasts, WNBA enthusiasts, and so now there's a new standard for what it looks like to have interest in the WNBA.
Navigating this minefield of criticism is no easy feat for Caitlin Clark. On one hand, she's being celebrated for her incredible achievements, but on the other, she's facing backlash from within the very league she belongs to. Her comments about race and privilege are causing controversy, yet they're also igniting crucial conversations about representation in women's basketball. How Clark handles this delicate balance will be pivotal in shaping her legacy and the future of the sport.
To the team store, where gear is flying off the shelves.
You can't make this stuff up anymore.
Indiana officially has Caitlin Clark.
But here's the key. Despite the loud criticism, Caitlin Clark isn't standing alone in this storm. Some influential voices are stepping forward to defend her, and their support could reshape the narrative. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And now, let's get back to the conversation.
It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
The twist nobody saw coming. Legends from across the sports world are stepping up for Caitlin Clark, raising an intriguing question. Why are established stars willing to risk their legacies for a newcomer to professional basketball? As criticism against Clark intensified, sports icons began speaking out with full-throated defenses of her talent and character. Gabby Thomas fiercely defended Clark on social media, and tennis legend Chris Evert expressed strong support, saying Clark deserves recognition for her contributions on and off the court. Recently, Serena Williams also offered her advice of support, sharing her own struggles from early in her career. What's striking is how these sports icons are putting their reputations on the line, explicitly stating that Clark deserves this recognition.